Beauty and the Beast. One stormy night, a merchant was lost in a thick forest when he came across a magnificent castle. The door was open, so the merchant went inside. The castle was deserted, but the dining tables was laden with food. The merchant was so hungry that he helped himself to a bite to eat before going to sleep in a luxurious bed. The following morning, as he was leaving, the merchant found a beautiful garden. Remembering he had no present for his youngest daughter, Beauty, he picked a rose for her. Suddenly, a fierce beast appeared. "How dare you steal my precious rose?" roared the beast. "Prepare to die!" The merchant was terrified. "Please, spare my life," he begged. "I will spare you," growled the beast, "but only if you send me the first person you see when you arrive home." The merchant traveled home with a heavy heart. When he arrived, Beauty rushed out to welcome him. The merchant groaned. How could he send his beloved daughter to live with the beast? He would have to give his life instead. He handed his two older daughters some expensive gifts they had wanted, and then handed Beauty the rose. "Oh, Beauty," he sighed, "you will not believe what I have promised for that." Then he explained about the beast. To save her father's life, Beauty insisted on going to live with the beast. The next day, the sorrowful merchant took Beauty to the castle and said farewell. Beauty crept inside and found that, although nobody was home, fires were blazing in every grate and fresh flowers were arranged in every room. In the dining room, Beauty found a magnificent feast set out for two. As she sat down to eat, the door was thrown open and the beast stamped in. Beauty gasped. He was even uglier than she had imagined. But when he spoke, his voice was gentle. "Do not be afraid," he said. "I mean you no harm." When the feast was over, the beast showed Beauty to her room and said good night. When he had gone, Beauty looked around. It was beautiful and filled with all the things she loved best. On the dressing table lay a single red rose. "He really doesn't want to harm me," thought Beauty. After that, Beauty no longer feared the beast. Each evening he joined her for supper, and before long they became the best of friends. Beauty was happy with her new life, until one day she began to feel homesick. When she told the beast, he gave her a magic mirror. "Look in it and you will see your family," he explained. One day Beauty looked into the mirror and saw that her father was ill. When she told the beast, he agreed that she could go home as long as she promised to return soon. "Take this magic ring," he said. "Blow on it once and you will be back home. Blow on it again when you are ready to return to me." So Beauty blew on the ring and found herself at her father's side. He was delighted to see her and was soon better. Beauty was so happy to be home that she forgot her promise to the beast and stayed longer than she intended. Then one night, Beauty dreamt that the beast was ill. When she awoke, she felt terrible and knew that it was time to return to him. After saying farewell to her father, she blew on the ring and found herself back in the castle. But no beast rushed out to greet her. She searched every room, but he was nowhere to be found. She hurried out into the garden, calling his name. There was no reply. Then she saw something lying beside the fountain and gasped. It was the beast. Beauty knelt down and cradled his great ugly head in her arms. "Don't die," she wept. "I love you and want to marry you." Then she planted a kiss on his rough face. Suddenly, fireworks exploded into the night, and there was a fanfare of trumpets. Beauty glanced around in amazement, and when she turned back to the Beast, he was no longer there. In his place stood a handsome young prince. The prince bowed before Beauty and gave her a dazzling smile. "But where is my beloved Beast?" asked Beauty. "I am here," replied the prince. "A wicked fairy turned me into the Beast. The spell could only be broken by a beautiful girl agreeing to marry me." Beauty was delighted, and when the prince declared his love for her, she quickly agreed to be his bride. They were married without delay, and of course lived happily ever after.